Every year, about 475,000 Americans die from a cardiac arrest. Globally, cardiac arrest claims more lives than colorectal cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, influenza, pneumonia, auto accidents, HIV, firearms, and house fires combined. The stark reality of cardiac arrest is both alarming and disconcerting. It's a silent predator, often striking without warning, leaving little time for intervention. It's an urgent medical emergency that requires immediate action, and sadly, it's far more common than we'd like to admit. Cardiac arrest is an electrical malfunction in the heart that causes an irregular heartbeat. This irregular heart rhythm disrupts the flow of blood to the brain, lungs, and other organs. Within seconds, a person can lose consciousness and without immediate treatment can result in death. Each year, more than 350,000 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests occur in the United States alone. That's nearly 1 every 90 seconds. And in almost every case, it happens suddenly and without warning. And the numbers are just as staggering globally. Around the world, cardiac arrest takes more lives than many of the diseases and tragedies we often fear. More than colorectal, breast and prostate cancer combined. More than influenza and pneumonia. More than auto accidents, HIV, firearms, and even house fires. Now let's be clear. These aren't just numbers. These are people. Mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, friends, and loved ones. Each statistic represents a life cut short, a family left grieving, a community shaken. But there's a silver lining to this grim reality. Cardiac arrest is treatable. With quick action and the right training, survival rates can dramatically increase. We can turn these numbers around. We can save lives. And that's where basic life support and automated external defibrillators or AEDs come in. They're not just tools or techniques, they're lifelines in the truest sense of the word. With numbers like these, it's clear why understanding basic life support and AED is so crucial. Now imagine this scenario. You're in a public place when suddenly someone collapses. What do? This is where basic life support, or BLS, comes into play. BLS is a crucial first line of defense in life-threatening situations, acting as a bridge to professional medical care. But what exactly is basic life support? Basic life support is a set of medical procedures performed in emergency situations where a person's breathing or heartbeat has stopped. These procedures can include chest compressions, rescue breaths, or the use of an automated external defibrillator. You've probably seen these actions in movies or perhaps even in real life. But the reality is, they're not just dramatic cinematic elements, they're life-saving techniques. Now, before we delve deeper, let's clarify a common misconception. Basic life support is not just for healthcare professionals, it's for everyone. Yes, that means you too. In fact, most cardiac arrests happen at home, so there's a good chance if you ever need to use BLS, it'll be to save the life of a loved one. So, why is basic life support so important? The answer lies in the stark reality of cardiac arrest. When the heart stops, every second counts. Brain damage can begin just 4 to 5 minutes after cardiac arrest, and for every minute that passes without CPR and defibrillation, chances of survival decrease by 7 to 10%. That's a dramatic drop, isn't it? Now imagine if basic life support could be initiated immediately by a bystander. Those precious minutes could be used to keep blood flowing, maintain oxygen supply to the brain, and buy valuable time until professional help arrives. This is why BLS is so critical. It can literally mean the difference between life and death. But it's not just about knowing the techniques. It's about having the confidence to step in when needed. It's about overcoming the bystander effect, that all too common phenomenon where people are less likely to offer help to a victim when other people are present. It's about understanding that you, yes you, can make a difference. Learning basic life support might seem daunting, but it doesn't have to be. Today, there are numerous resources available to help you get started, from online courses to community training sessions. And remember, even the most basic understanding of BLS can make a significant difference. So, take the first step. Learn basic life support. You never know when you might need it. After all, in the face of a life-threatening emergency, the most dangerous thing is not knowing what to do. And that's why basic life support is a skill everyone should consider learning. But what if the person's heart has stopped? That's where an automated external defibrillator or AED comes in. AED, three simple letters. But when it comes to cardiac arrest, these three letters can mean the difference between life and death. Let's dive into what an AED is and how it works. An automated external defibrillator, better known as an AED, is a portable device that can detect and correct abnormal heart rhythms. AEDs are crucial in the fight against sudden cardiac arrest, a condition where the heart unexpectedly stops beating. Imagine a symphony orchestra where each musician plays their part in harmony. Now consider the heart as an orchestra, with each cell playing its part to keep the rhythm going. But sometimes, this harmony can be disrupted, throwing the heart into chaos. This is essentially what happens during a cardiac arrest. And just like a conductor stepping in to restore order in an orchestra, an AED steps in to restore rhythm in a heart. It does this by delivering a controlled electric shock to the heart, effectively resetting it, allowing it to resume its normal rhythm. You might be thinking, that sounds complicated, but the beauty of an AED is its simplicity. It's designed to be used by anyone, not just medical professionals. The device guides the user through clear step-by-step instructions. It will only deliver a shock if it detects a shockable rhythm, making it safe to use. But why is an AED so important in treating cardiac arrest? Well, the answer lies in the numbers. For every minute that passes without defibrillation, the chances of survival decrease by 7 to 10%. But if an AED is used within the first 3 to 5 minutes, the survival rate can increase to more than 70%. These statistics underline the importance of public access to AEDs. They should be as common as fire extinguishers, found in gyms, schools, shopping centers, and in as many public places as possible. But it's not enough to have AEDs available. People need to know where they are and how to use them. That's why awareness and education on AEDs are so crucial. It's not just about the device, it's about empowering people to act in a cardiac emergency. And let's remember, it's not just about saving a life, but also about improving the quality of life after survival. In conclusion, the power of an AED is immense. It's a conductor, a lifesaver, a beacon of hope in the chaotic orchestra of a cardiac arrest. It's a device that can reset a rhythm, bring back harmony, and give a second chance at life. So whether you're a medical student, a teacher, a gym instructor, or just an everyday hero, knowing how to use an AED is an invaluable skill. It's not just a piece of medical equipment, it's a tool that gives us the power to save lives. Just like basic life support, knowing how to use an AED can save lives. Let's consider a real-life example of how basic life support, or BLS, and automated external defibrillators, or AEDs, can make a difference. Picture this. It was a typical sunny afternoon at a local community center. People were merrily engaged in various activities, oblivious to the dramatic turn events were about to take. Among the crowd was James, a gentleman in his mid-40s. He was well known and well liked in the community, always ready with a warm smile and a helpful hand. On this particular day, James was playing a friendly game of basketball, something he'd done countless times before. Suddenly, in the middle of the game, James collapsed. His friends thought he was joking at first, but the gravity of the situation quickly became apparent. James was experiencing a cardiac arrest, but fortune favors the prepared. Among the bystanders was Lisa, a nurse who had recently completed her BLS certification. She quickly recognized the signs and sprang into action. She assessed James, confirmed he was unresponsive, and began giving chest compressions immediately. She instructed another bystander to call for emergency medical services. Meanwhile, the community center manager remembered the AED device installed in the building. He fetched it and handed it over to Lisa. Relying on her training, Lisa attached the AED pads to James's chest. The device analyzed James's heart rhythm and advised a shock. With a firm press of the button, Lisa delivered the shock. The gathered crowd watched with bated breath as James's body jerked from the impact. Lisa continued chest compressions and rescue breaths, following the rhythm she'd learned in her BLS training. After what seemed like an eternity, James gasped for air. By the time the paramedics arrived, he was breathing on his own, weak but alive. James's story is not unique. Every year, thousands of lives are saved thanks to the knowledge and quick action of individuals trained in BLS and competent in using an AED, These skills, which may seem complex, are actually quite straightforward when learned and practiced correctly. What's more, they're not exclusive to healthcare professionals. Anyone can learn basic life support and how to use an AED. It's a matter of taking the time to get trained and having the confidence to step up when needed. Remember, cardiac arrest can happen anywhere, at any time. It could be at a community center, like in James's case, or at a shopping mall, a school, a restaurant, or even at home. The question is, if it happened in front of you, would you know what to do? Could you be the difference between life and death for someone else? James was lucky that day. He was surrounded by people who cared, and one person who had the right skills at the right time. It was the knowledge and quick action of BLS and AED that saved this person's life. But let's not leave it to luck. Let's make sure we're prepared, trained, and ready to act. Many people think that basic life support and automated external defibrillator use are skills only for healthcare professionals. But that's not true. These are skills that everyone can and should learn. They are not complex medical procedures, but rather simple steps that can be the difference between life and death during a cardiac emergency. Imagine being in a situation where someone collapses in front of you. Their heart suddenly stops beating. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? Now, imagine being able to step forward confidently, knowing exactly what to do to help. You could be the one to keep that person alive until medical help arrives. That's the power of BLS and AED training. Anyone can learn these skills. Age, occupation, or background doesn't matter. What matters is the willingness to learn and the courage to act when someone is in need. And the good news is, there are many resources available for you to get certified. There are online courses, community classes, and even training sessions offered by local health organizations. So, take that step. Get certified, equip yourself with the knowledge and skills to make a real difference. It's not about adding a fancy title to your resume or a certificate to your wall. It's about being prepared. Prepared for that moment when seconds count and a life is on the line. It's about being able to step in when someone needs you the most and potentially changing the course of their life. And let's not forget, the life you may save could be that of a stranger, a friend, a family member, or even your own. Because cardiac emergencies can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. So don't hesitate. Embrace the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to potentially save a life. Invest in BLS and AED certification. It's a small step for you, but it could be a giant leap for someone else's life. Remember, the life you save with basic life support and automated external defibrillator could be someone you love. In the face of cardiac arrest, knowledge and quick action are the keys to survival. This statement has been our guiding principle throughout our discussion today. We've journeyed through the stark realities of cardiac arrest, delved into the life-saving techniques of basic life support, BLS, and explored the exceptional power of automated external defibrillators, AEDs. These tools and techniques are not just for medical professionals, but for everyone. They are for you, your family, your friends, and even for the stranger on the street. In essence, they're for anyone who might find themselves in a situation where a life hangs in the balance. Let's remember, basic life support is a critical skill set. It includes maintaining an open airway, ensuring effective breathing, and supporting circulation through chest compressions and, if necessary, rescue breathing. And then there's the AED. It's not a high-tech device reserved for hospital use only. It's a tool that can be found in many public places, designed to be used by anyone, regardless of their medical background. An AED can analyze a person's heart rhythm and deliver a shock if needed, potentially restarting the heart and saving a life. The importance of these skills and tools can't be overstated. They serve as the first line of defense in the fight against cardiac arrest, a fight that claims countless lives each year. That's why we encourage you to delve deeper into this subject, to learn more about BLS and AEDs. Consider taking a course, getting certified, and becoming a part of the solution. Because in the end, it might not be a doctor or a nurse who's there when cardiac arrest strikes. It might be you. And so, we wrap up with a call to action. Equip yourself with the knowledge and skills that can make a difference. Because in the fight against cardiac arrest, you could be the most important weapon. Equip yourself with the knowledge of BLS and AED today.